What's up, everybody? It's your boy mel.on.mars. In the words of the great Varnell Hill, did you miss me? Took a couple weeks off, guys, and I'll get into that more later with the videos coming up this week. But now it's time for the S.Y.A.D of the week. The S.Y.A.D goes to Snoop Dogg. Yeah, that's right, Snoop Dogg. This week, Kanye West released several photos that are very controversial, including this one. He's wearing a Make America Great Again hat, which is made famous by President Trump, our current president. If you guys didn't know, it's your president too. That's neither here nor there. And of course, everything Kanye does creates a lot of attention, and especially when he does controversial things, it creates a lot of conversation, especially from the black community. And a lot of celebrities that are in his same genre, hip-hop artists, a lot of them people come at him pretty hard, namely Snoop Dogg. Now, guys, I'm slipping. I'm sorry. This week I saw that Snoop Dogg called Kanye West a coon. And the reason I say I'm slipping is because I forgot to screenshot the thing. And I went back into it just a moment ago and realized that Snoop had deleted his comment. If anybody had it, definitely hit me in my DM and let me see it so I can repost it. But Snoop did indeed, and anybody can be my witness out there, call Kanye West a coon for wearing that hat. But what Snoop Dogg may have not done, or he may have done and still decide to respond in ignorance, I don't believe he must have read closely the caption of Kanye West's photo. And that says, this represents good in America, becoming whole again. We will no longer outsource to other countries. We will build factories here in America and create jobs. We will provide jobs for all who are free from prisons, and we abolish the 13th Amendment. Message sent with love. Now, guys, I don't have a degree in psychology. I'm not a psychic nor a mind reader. But somebody please tell me, what's wrong with that post? What's wrong with the caption? He's saying everything in love. He's saying everything to support America. And not just Americans, black Americans. Why do I say this? If you abolish the 13th Amendment, yes, it's talking about the amendment that freed slavery, that ended slavery. But it's also talking about prisoners. It's also talking about helping prisoners receive work whenever they are released from prison. If you don't know, that's one thing Donald Trump is definitely working hard to do. So somebody help me understand, of all people in this world, who will benefit most by abolishing the 13th Amendment? Black people. Snoop Dogg, I don't understand where you're coming from, my brother. I never understood. And you, of all people, gonna call Kanye West a coon. I'm of the mindset that black people don't give a care about the definition of words. We'll change a word, especially words that have been passed down that were meant to be bad at one point, and we'll turn to something good, or just change the whole meaning of it so we can overuse it. Hence the word coon. And I looked up the definition of it, which most of you guys should do, but take a look at several of these definitions. And let's make sure we understand what the word coon means. First definition we see here is a person with dark skin who comes from Africa or whose ancestors came from Africa. It's an ethnic slur, extremely offensive name for a black person. Your Urban Dictionary says when used by whites, it translates to nigger. When used by blacks, it describes an Uncle Ruckus type character. A black person who is ignorant to white discrimination and unknowingly suffers self-hatred. A black man who only dates white women or only finds white women attractive. And it gives an example of Samuel L. Jackson, who played Coon in the movie Django. Now, that's what majority of us think about. We think about Samuel L. Jackson's character in Django. But do you remember another movie that's a classic out there that also uses word coon? And let's see what they meant by it.
I say boycott T.C. Williams. Get him, Fred. Our boys aren't playing for some coach Coon.
Our boys aren't playing for some coach Coon.
So, if Coach Boone is a coon, and Samuel L. Jackson character and Django is a coon, then what's the true definition? What I love the most is the definition of the word coonery. And that definition is acting in such a manner as to perpetuate black stereotypes in society, such as music videos solely about cars, money, and women. And it gives a couple of examples. P. Diddy, Soulja Boy, most of hip hop in general, Flavor Flav, all examples of coonery. One name they did not say, but is definitely implied: Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg has been performing in coonery for decades now. This guy has made famous the fact of being inside of a gang, doing gang-related activities. How many times in his life has he been in court for murder? He got off, but definitely he was in court for the case of murder. Murder was the case that they gave me. Y'all remember that? Not to mention everything he's done to show how much he disrespects and denigrates women in his music. Not saying he does it in real life, but that's what his music projects. But I hear you say, okay, that's who Snoop was. He's become a more positive person. He's went from a gang member to somebody who's tried to stop gang fights, stop gang violence in those same cities. He's gone from doing gangster rap to even doing gospel music. I understand that. So he go from coonery to now he just flat out being what you guys call being a coon, which he's pandering for white people. How many white shows and white networks is Snoop Dogg on right now? He got a cooking show with Martha Stewart. I mean, he does cameos in every white Jewish show that you can think of. So Snoop, I really gotta ask you, brother, who's the real coon here? More often than not, when somebody calling somebody else out on something, it's them looking in the mirror and not really liking what they see. So Snoop, you calling Kanye out? Yeah, you know you're the real coon. So for that, Anger Man, please tell this man what he needs to do.
Man, sit your ass down.